Hello and welcome to Basildon Council's Official Podcast. I'm your host Ryan, and the aim behind this podcast is to give those that live in and around the borough a clearer understanding of what it is the council does, what our councillors are doing, and give updates on new things happening that affect our everyday lives. We'll get the opportunity to talk with councillors from all over the borough and learn a little bit more about what got them into local government. Speak with companies who are impacting the area and answer any questions you may send in. So, joining us today is Councillor Blake, Deputy Leader of Basildon Council and Cabinet Member for Environment, Carbon Reduction and Waste Enforcement. Councillor Blake, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. And this is your first foray into podcasting, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So we'll go easy. What we really wanted to do is give councillors such as yourselves, when you appear on a show like this, is give you guys more of an opportunity to humanise yourselves in a way. You know, I think it's quite easy for people to look at local government and top government and boroughs and whatnot and just I don't know, it's quite dehumanising in a way. You think councillor, when that's sort of the first part of your name, sort of takes that part away. Yeah. So I would love to be able to get to sort of have everyone else get to know you better. Yeah. So if you're happy to, I'd love to know, who is Councillor Blake? Where are you from? What do you do?
Well, Councillor Blake, as I say, as you say, as far as I'm concerned, it's Kevin Blake, and that's the way I always like to be addressed, and I've always had that relationship with officers in the council. It's Kevin Blake unless it's a formal meeting. Born in Billericay, lived in Basildon all my life. You cut me in half and you've got Basildon Council right the way through it. My got involved in politics basically because I just wanted to see change. I was concerned about the community. And I also think there was that issue that you should be able to... it seemed like a lot of politicians were too far-reaching, you couldn't get in contact with them. I'm a down-to-earth, grassroots person, and I remember an MP who was a councillor at the time said, Kevin, the Conservative Party need a common man like you, so please put yourself forward. So I did, and fortunately for me, I was selected, and I've been a councillor for about 30 years now.
30 years? And how long have you been, and has that been within Basildon Council?
Absolutely, yeah. I've represented Pitsea at first, and then for the last 20 years it has been Billericay and Burstead.
Mm. And so when you sort of started, I imagine you had lots of grand ideas and plans and visions and that. Do you still have those long-term plans and things that you really want to implement? Is it still that fire, still I really want to change and adapt and grow this place?
Yeah, I think the day when that goes out your belly, there's a time to retire and stand down. So yeah, always want to look forward and positive. But you've got to look back to see where you made mistakes, but learn from those mistakes and go forward. Yeah.
So in terms of you saw things in your own town. You grew up around Basildon that were I think that needs to be different or change. Is there anything in particular that maybe sort of stands out to you that would that was something we did great and that was something we're really proud of?
I think we've done a lot of good. I mean, the Basildon Town Centre development of that was fantastic over the years. It's now, obviously, with things going online, has made it much more difficult, so we've got to address that. I think that's one of the important things we've got to do now, because people are buying online rather than going to the local shop. And I understand that and get that, but we need to get those sort of people back out on the streets and shopping in our local shops. From my point of view, it's always been law and order and the streets being tidied up. That's always been my positive that I always go to.
Well, speaking of tidying up, there are some upcoming changes coming to our waste and recycling services. Many of our people that are watching this will, if you follow us on socials, of course, you'll see a lot of posts that we're putting out about new waste things that are happening. I wondered if you could explain sort of what changes are happening and maybe why these are happening and what they can expect to see soon.
Yeah, some of the changes that have happened, we've actually got a weekly food waste collection now, which has been very successful. We've also had to charge for our green waste to be collected on a weekly basis, which is unfortunate, but we're in the economic state that we're in. We're also going to be going to a fortnightly black wheelie bin collection. I do stress wheelie bin collection and not black bag collection. That's because I firmly believe that if we recycle properly, you actually don't need a weekly collection of it. And also the benefits of that is, whereas the black bags at the moment get ripped to bits by foxes, this won't be the case in this scenario. So it's something that we're introducing, which will be introduced on the 27th of November. Some of the issues regarding that, people are asking at the moment, why are we doing that now? Why are they getting our black bins now? And the reality of it is, it takes us about 10 weeks or so to actually get them delivered to the whole of borough. So please don't put your wheelie bins out at the moment. It's essential. The pink bags that we had will be going. and you'll be having 2 recyclable bags that you can actually use. If you get stuck with any issues with that, then you can contact the Basildon Council and they'll help you out. If you need more, then again, wait till the 27th of November, which will be a case when we can look into see if you're on a needs plus basis. So it's all exciting times, and I firmly believe that we're making the right commitments, and we're asking the people of the borough to be responsible. Plus side of ours, I'm concerned with the black wheelie bins. At the moment, when people put their black bags out, they can put them anywhere they want. This is going to produce accountability. So if people are not putting what they should be into their black bags, then they will be penalised for it. It'll be education, and enforcement. Very strongly on that.
And say something we really want to reiterate is that the service does officially start on Monday the 27th of November. So if you have got your bins so far, to store them away for the meantime. We're not using them just yet, although they won't be collected, will they, at that point?
They won't be collected, but you will be amazed that some people are still putting them out. Please read the literature that we're putting out, because it's very important. They actually do come with the bins. Yes,
there are a lot of ways to get the information. I believe you can head over to the website. There is information on that. Councillor Blake has also done some videos that have appeared on our socials that do explain a few more things, and on our socials you can see a few posts that will explain some bits there. So, if we could, I'd like to be able to refer to some questions that have been sent in by local residents in reference to this. So, first of all I think we've pretty much covered it, but do I put my containers out now for collection?
I emphasise again, and it's worth emphasising it, no. The 27th of November is when it first starts.
Excellent. Now, is it necessary to deliver the containers mid-September when we can't use them till the last week in November? That's 10 weeks away.
Yeah, the rationale behind us delivering them now is purely on the basis of we've got so many residents to deliver them to that we've got to start now. We just can't do it overnight. We're hoping that the service would have been done by the 20th of November, but I'd rather promise less and deliver more by getting it correct. So we've got that little bit of leeway if necessary.
Now, referring to the reusable sacks, you may have seen we've got blue ones and we've got white ones. And just to clarify, what goes in our blue ones and white ones?
You'll have paper and cardboard in one, and plastics and tins in the other.
Okay, so a question we've had is, will the reusable sacks not get blown away?
If there's a hurricane, I'm absolutely sure they will be moved, and that's there's no good saying it can't be. It happens with the black bins that we've got at the moment, and so that can happen. But if you actually think what actually happens to your pink bags at the moment, and these are going to be far heavier, and they're going to be weighted, so I'm pretty confident that it'll be, unless there's a hurricane or extremely strong winds, that won't happen. But each bin bag will actually have your name on. You can write on it, so if it does get blown away, community spirit that we have, I'm sure somebody will pick them up and replace it back with yourselves.
Can I order more reusable sacks, and is there a cost for that?
Most importantly, there is no cost to that, and yes, you will be able to order more, but that again will be on the 27th of November onwards. You can apply to do that.
Can I order more black wheelie bins? Is there a cost to that?
There is no cost to that either, and it's on the same premise as I just said regarding the bags. It will be on a means test.
So residents can, if they need more and whatnot, that is the option, that they can get those bits.
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. Now, what I'd like to talk about is something that I think is something that is important to yourself. Obviously, that's why we have these blue and white reusable sacks now. Is the benefits of sort of recycling and whatnot. And I wondered whether maybe you could help us understand a little bit more those benefits that we would see by going along with this and recycling.
Yeah. Well, one, there's the benefits of the saving in cost, which there is, because at the moment with your pink bags, when they go in, because they have all 4 items in there, we have to pay somebody to actually separate them. So we are asking the residents to do that. So there is a cost saving there. But it's also just generally better for the environment. But I think it is important that we play our part in it, and rather than sort of turn a blind eye and say, well, they're not bothering, so why shouldn't we? I just think it's very important that we do as much recycling as we possibly can.
And so some of the benefits that we've also seen as well is a reduction in sort of landfill waste, so being able to properly reuse some of these bits rather than cluttering up a lot of that space.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, a cleaner, greener borough, I think it's essential, first and foremost, that Basildon Council take responsibility there and show leadership. And that's what we're doing with some of our vehicles that we're getting along, the electric vehicles, which are also important for us to do. And internally, where our cups and mugs and everything, like, a lot of people are bringing their own ones in now, so they're not wasting everything. And I think that's essential that we push that out. So lead by example, as far as I'm concerned, for Basildon Council.
Well, Councillor Blake, it's been very, very interesting to find out more about sort of what it is exactly that's happening here in the local area, and be able to have the opportunity to put forward questions by our residents themselves. I'm sure they're going to have a lot more coming forward anyway.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that we'll endeavour to get those questions out at some point soon. So, how was your first podcasting experience then?
It was okay. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, from being honest. Yeah, absolutely.
See, it's not all that bad.
No.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I really do appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
And for everyone watching and listening, thank you very much for joining us on Basildon Council's official podcast. Going forward, as I say, we will have many guests who will, again, if they're councillors, we will get opportunities to ask them questions about things that will be happening around the borough, and you will be given the opportunity to ask those questions yourselves. So do look forward to those coming soon. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and we will see you on the next one.
Thank you.